something to tell you. I've been keeping something from you for a little while, and I think I'm finally ready to share it. I am gonna be moving to Goa really soon, and I am so excited about it, and I didn't really want to bury the lead or anything like that, so I thought I'll just tell you guys straight away. Oh wait, there's a car coming. Just wanted to like get it out there, get it over with, but you probably have some questions, so let's go back home and I'll talk more about it. I'm just here outside in the morning with a tripod, and people are starting to give me weird looks. It was so crazy hot outside that I needed to take a good 10 minutes just to cool down. Let's make a cup of coffee and then we can sit and talk about this properly. May or may not have added the whole coffee making scene just so that I can show off this mug that I made for myself. I actually made it for my last birthday and I never showed it to you guys. In 9 days, I'm actually gonna turn 31 years old. And I know what you're thinking, 1st of April, is this an April Fool's Day video? But this is actually 100% real and it's happening. I don't even know where to start. I'm also going to answer all of the questions that I've gotten since I've been telling people in real life over the last 1.5 years. I've been telling people that this is happening. It's a little less sweet. This is much better right now. This was a decision born of the pandemic. I've been working towards this since August 2021, so it wasn't a decision made in haste. I'm born in Bombay. Both of my parents are born in Bombay, but all 4 of my grandparents came from Goa, from the same village in Goa in fact. So growing up, we did have really strong ties to our village back home, and we always used to spend a lot of time during school vacations and stuff coming back here. And you guys have seen my maternal ancestral home in my rural Goa vlogs. So that was a place that I spent a lot of my childhood vacations, and growing up I kind of didn't like it, didn't appreciate it. And then when I turned like 21, 22, that's when I started seeing beauty in the experience, and I realized that I was really lucky to get to live in a really big city, travel so many countries in the world, but at the same time get to experience that home, get to experience that culture. It was very special to me. I do not have it in me to live long term in an old house, so I need slightly more modern living. I will tell you the background of this house also, which right now this room is completely empty, so there's a pretty gnarly echo that you can hear. I am still staying in a rural area, but this village is not as cute as my ancestral village. It is closer to a beach, and the nearest city is still ʟ, so that is unchanged. Question that I've gotten a lot is that why I'm moving. I have many reasons. Individually, they seem like fairly good reasons for me. When you put them all together, it seems like a no-brainer. So let me tell you first about the house that I'm going to be staying in. It is a row house. It is bigger than like Bombay houses, but it's small by Goa houses, but it's still a house. It's not a flat. So when you say row house, it's kind of like a bungalow. but you have your own private front yard, backyard, but on both sides you are joined to other houses also. My parents purchased this house in the year 2000, and I have a lot of special and good memories from our early years of having this house. Back then in Mumbai, we lived in a smaller house, a 1 BHK. This was the first place that I had my own room because this is a 3 BHK house. I remember us sending a lot of stuff from Bombay, coming here, setting it up, getting like the gas connection, getting grills installed, painting the grills with my mom and dad. And in the first few years, we hosted a lot of our family members and loved ones here also, and it was great. But as years kept on passing, it just kind of became difficult to keep this house running, seeing as how it was locked most of the year. Every time we came back, something or the other used to give trouble. One time the fridge is not working, the electricity is not working, the water has stopped flowing. It became such a pain that as like a few years passed, I started kind of hating the place because we come to Goa for a vacation. We used to come here and there was so much of work always to do. I remember really pestering my mom to sell this house back then. I was like, you know, why are you keeping it? Nobody's staying here. A lot of Goans also have that wish that like when they get old, they'll move to Goa. My parents never had that wish. I was telling my mom, you know, just a few years ago, get rid of it. It's a ground and first floor house, but I always wished for a staircase inside the house. I think I grew up watching too many American TV shows with their suburban homes, and staircase inside felt like a luxury. So that's why my parents picked this house in particular. Early 2020, I was supposed to come to Goa, but at the last minute I decided not to, and my parents came to Goa, and I was like, oh, I'll just go in a few months' time. Then of course the pandemic happened and all of our lives changed overnight and got really disrupted, and it was just a really weird time, and we were all finding our ways to cope. So I think later in 2020, I got into plants for the first time in my life. I used to kill them most of the time, but I ended up following a lot of plant creators and learning more about plants and realizing that I do enjoy it so much and I do have a green thumb. So I started buying too many plants for our home in Mumbai. Then in the year 2021, I think it was January again, we finally got to come to Goa. Like the pandemic had at that point subsided, and mom and I took a little trip to our ancestral home and we were very careful. I saw Goa in a new light during that time. After almost a year of being cooped up inside a flat in Mumbai, I just felt so wonderful with so much of fresh air, so much of room to breathe, so much of space to walk around, not as many people. And also since I got into plants, it was a whole new experience actually noticing all of the Goan foliage for the first time. And I remember thinking at that point, I could live here. As soon as I thought of it, I dismissed it because it didn't seem practical at all. But my entire life up till then, I had never thought I could live in Goa. And during that trip, I was like, oh, I could. After the Jan 2021 trip to Goa, I also ended up taking a pottery class and I really liked it. After the class, I taught myself a lot of things on my own and I continued practicing it. Pottery is a practice that requires a good amount of space. I was kind of managing in my window in Mumbai, but I started thinking about like how I could maybe take that to the next level. Then some more time passed and I started realizing that I should probably think of moving out of my home in Mumbai, meaning my parents' home. I hadn't really ever planned anything in that regard. I'm not a planner. I'm not someone who looks even 1 year ahead. I didn't really know what my next move was going to be. I just knew that I was approaching a milestone birthday. Like I was 27 when the pandemic started. So I turned 28 and then 29 and I was like, okay, I'm going to be 30. So I should start thinking about doing something different. I'm ready for something different. Initially, I was just thinking of like moving out in Mumbai. That would have been the ideal, I guess, because I would be close to my parents and I love Mumbai. I think it's an amazing city. But the rents there are so expensive that I knew I didn't really want to do that. because I would have had to work like 10 times harder and still not being able to like save any money or anything because of Mumbai rent. So I started thinking of moving cities, but I knew I wanted to take my cats with me. That would not be so easy to live as a renter. And that's when I actually thought of this house. I thought, what if I stay here? That is one of the big reasons why I'm moving actually. The fact that there is this house here that my parents have. It's not exactly about the rental money, but the fact that I can build a permanent home here, which I wouldn't be able to do anywhere else. The thing here is the house is large enough for me. My parents can come and spend a good amount of time here. I do want that independent living experience a little bit. I do want to see how I do on my own, but at the same time I couldn't not have my parents around, I guess. I'm gonna have a room here, but they will also stay in Mumbai, and maybe sometimes I will go back to Mumbai if I have some work there. That time my parents will stay here, but generally this is going to be my home. I hesitate saying permanent, but I guess I should just get used to it. So after I thought about moving here, I sat with the idea for a few days on my own, and then I went to my mom about it. We talked it out and she gave me her approval, she gave me her blessings, and also she kind of is helping a lot with like getting this house ready and stuff. So I did mention it was purchased in the year 2000. The house needed a little bit of love. At the end of 2021, I think it was November or December, we did come to this house. We just needed to take stock of the place and see what needed to be done. It looked like there was a lot of work ahead of us. There was some water damage from the roof. There were cracks in the walls. It was not going to be so easy to get this house completely ready. The entire renovation process, you are going to be seeing these videos. I'm going to share one renovation vlog a week. I always knew I wanted to document that process. I also have memberships on my channel. If you sign up to be a member, you'll get early access to a lot of those videos, and you'll be able to see like my empty house tour and all a bit early. So after that visit in late 2021, we came back to this house in February and March 2022, and we started on the external work, the waterproofing work. That took about a month. We were doing some other things also, but that was like the main work. We were hoping to actually do the move in the summer of 2022. After that trip finished, we were just really tired, and I feel like mentally I was not ready to say goodbye to Mumbai yet. So we decided we would move after the monsoon in 2022. Waterproofing got done, but the house needed to be painted outside and inside. In June of 22, we decided to take a holiday to Goa, unrelated to this renovation work. We would just come and chill in the resort for a little while, and unfortunately my mom had a small accident. We went back to Bombay and my mom had to get surgery, and the moving plan had to wait. But now my mom is pretty much recovered, so I came back to the house now in February of 2023, and I've been staying here for a little under a month for the painting as well as some minor work, but the painting was the major work. I did vlog all of it. Now the painting's done and I'm heading back home to Mumbai. I'm filming this in the middle of March, by the way, but you guys are seeing it on 1st April. So I'll be able to make the kind of videos that I was always making, but I will also be able to try a lot of new things, so it'll afford me so much more freedom in that sense. I know that moving here is not going to be all rosy because I've spent quite a lot of time in Goa throughout my life. I know of how things work here. It is in many ways going to be much more difficult than staying in Bombay because cities are generally built for convenience, but at the same time I'm going to be gaining a lot also by moving here. The more space in the house, green spaces outside, cleaner air. I'll be able to do so many more things that bring me a lot of joy. The room that I'm sitting in right now is going to be my studio room, and just that extra one room means I'll be able to do so much more. Having a backyard means I can grow more plants, that I can maybe try onions and potatoes. I can compost, and hopefully I can also find my way back to pottery. I do have some stuff that I'm gonna sell in the next few days. That will be my last collection, and I'll be taking a break. I'm heading back home today, and I'm going to be spending my last 1 or 2 months in Mumbai, wrapping up all my Mumbai stuff, meeting and hugging all my Mumbai friends. By May, we will be moving here with all of my stuff, with my parents and also with my cats. They will be coming along with me just to help me get settled and all. It's going to feel so weird to leave Mumbai, because it's a city I was born in, and for several years I just imagined I would live there my entire life. Like many Mumbaikars, I've gotten disillusioned by parts of it, but I still think it is one of the best places to live in. It has really given me so much in terms of cultural experiences, and also in terms of safety. It's helped me grow as a person, and I'm genuinely so grateful that my grandparents moved out of Goa to Bombay for opportunities. I'm really grateful to my parents also, because they worked extremely hard to provide a nice life for me, and it is because of them that I've had a life of relative ease. I've never had to struggle too much. I have had periods of working hard, but I'd rather take things a little bit slow, and I understand that is because of the people before me that worked so hard so that I could have that life. But now it's time for me to do some things a little bit more on my own, and I'm so ready for this next chapter. Thanks so much for being here, and I do hope you will stick around. See you!